And we'll follow it up with a little bit of clapping. In oh wait, 3, 2, 1.
What
I
happened?
interrupt the drinking.
Oh no, I
I
don't
saw the
care.
beer in your hand.
Yeah, I didn't want you to like clap with the beer and then it sprays everywhere. And
Yeah,
Did
like
you
I'm
think
like
Mark
an
would
idiot.
like not have the yeah?
I'm like a dog. Who's
I don't
like,
know.
he's
I've
like,
seen
"Oh,
enough
clap."
sitcoms to know how this works.
He's a dumb man in like a cleaning commercial. How do I mop? Clap with beer in hand. Honey,
I do say that a lot.
Splash beer on me. Clean it up.
It's an infomercial for adult sippy cups.
You know what? There's a time. There's a time and place for them. I will say, Sarah, we were drinking beers, and she was like, "Oh, do you want the rest of mine?" Sure. And I just grabbed them both and started pouring them both into my mouth, like very much like some Dumbo from a commercial. So
Or like a frat college kid.
I was feeling it. I was feeling youthful at the moment. Not anymore.
Mark, you're over 30. Can't be pouring 2 beers in your mouth at the same time anymore.
Yeah, the
That's what he
doctor told
thought.
me
And then
that.
he went in and did it.
The doctor. Mark, you're going to sprain your neck. Stop pouring 2 beers in your
Oh fuck.
All right, we good?
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the tiny master of evil, VEIGAR, who was released July 24th, 2009. I still don't have a champion birthday. My birthday is July 23rd.
So close.
I'm really mad because I know you guys have gotten 2, at least.
Well, you know, we're kind of a big deal.
That feels like spiteful that they.
Right? They were like, 23rd? No. I would have loved VEIGAR.
22nd and 24th. And then the 23rd of every other month.
Yeah.
Basically. I distinctly remember the first time I saw and heard VEIGAR in this game. It was a core memory, like an Inside Out. It created an island in my mind. I think we were probably at the Riot office, and I just was hearing him talk, and I couldn't get over it. And then I played him just because I liked his voice so much. Not for long, because I'm terrible at VEIGAR, even to this day. But I was just so enamored.
Don't listen to her.
I'm not. I played him like twice in the last year, maybe, because I was forced to in ARAM.
They were good 2 games.
You're too good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Veigar? The rioter?
The rioter. No, I don't think so.
Oh.
He's very tall,
do you
as
know
I
him?
recall, right?
He was very
exceptionally tall. Yeah.
And that is how you say it, everybody. It's VEIGAR.
Yeah.
That's how the
true.
rioter says it. And they even give us a little note in the short story that he's got. They tell us how to say VEIGAR.
They tell us.
They were tired of people saying Viger or Vigar. Or...
Yep.
It's
And
really
they,
hard.
when Legends of Runeterra came out, they doubled down. They're like, no, really, guys. We're going to have everyone who interacts with him say his name. He's got like 10 million interactions.
He really does. But I kind of appreciate it. It's very hard. Like, sometimes it's hard to get out of the habit of saying, like, Vigar or whatever. It's a
Right?
Yeah.
Now I just am really waiting for that Legends of Runeterra release for Shaco.
Yeah, right.
I always forget that people say something else.
Shaco.
Shaco.
Speaking of KP, she's on my sweater right now. She always says Shaco.
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 Weirder.
Yeah, it's like she punches my brain every time. Love her, but Shaco? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pronunciation thing. Whatever.
Right.
Although Shaco doesn't make any sense when you look at it.
Hey, he shake and bakes, you know?
I think he came out before that movie. Oh, no, he didn't.
No.
You get in and get out, baby. Shaco and Bako.
My friend and I used to quote that movie so much.
I think there was like...
Anyway.
Yeah, we don't need to
There
go
was
down the Will Ferrell quoting movie.
We don't have a lot
rabbit
to
hole.
talk about here, so...
I guess that's true.
Speak for yourself. He's got a lot of AUs.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so what does VEIGAR sound like, everybody?
Oh boy, won't this be fun?
I already forgot the quote I was going to do.
It was the band quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it?
Your command's not your
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, like you guys are trying to whisper to me. Your commands tire me. That was terrible. It's so much better in my head.
That was so good. I
It's
loved
always
it.
like that.
I'm perfect in my head.
It's just a short way. Is that a short joke?
The magic, it calls to me.
I love
It's
this
so
impression. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good.
I will say, my one complaint about the Legends of Runeterra release of him, I don't think the voice acting doesn't have the same.
Oh, they didn't
punch.
quite nail it.
No.
It sounds like Cartman doing a VEIGAR impression.
That's a very interesting interpretation. I'll have to listen to it.
I know.
that
I'll have to
mindset.
play a few for you.
I'm trying to
'Cause as soon
to
as
now
I
do
heard
an
it, I couldn't
impression of
unhear
that.
it.
Yeah, it's like, I guess you could say from an objective standpoint, it's like a better quality performance maybe, but it doesn't have the same like, I want to say grit. There's like, I'm trying to figure out the word to describe the texture
I like
of
my
Veigar's
VEIGAR voice raw.
Right. You wouldn't hear the new voice and have it form a core memory. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It would
yeah.
just be another voice.
Exactly.
If the tables were turned, I would show you no mercy.
That was really good.
That was Cartman doing a VEIGAR impression. How was that?
Beautiful.
Thank you. Is that what the new voice sounds?
A bit.
Oh, yeah, but
I really had to tap into high school me who used to watch South Park there because it's been a while. Well, on the Riot Universe page, VEIGAR has a bio and a short story, as expected, and a little video that I forgot to watch.
He's like
yeah.
half a second.
Yeah.
I
Fine.
figured it was something
The,
like that.
frankly, the still in the like in like the thumbnail or whatever, it's like
That's it.
there
That's
it is.
the whole video.
Yeah,
One
no
of
joke.
those. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, bio
By Michael Luo.
by Michael Luo. I again am having this trouble of the mic stand is somewhere new and it's messing me up. All right, VEIGAR was a normal Yordle in Bandle City. Like most Yordles, VEIGAR ventured outside of Bandle City on the hunt for like new discoveries. It was right after the Great Darken War, so VEIGAR was interested in celestial magic and whatnot. And he joined a group of mages in the they say the Noxai territories, so I assume what will become Noxus soon.
Yeah.
Not long after that, Mordekaiser came along to like mess shit up, and he saw no use for the Order of Mages. But VEIGAR, he did notice that VEIGAR was a Yordle. He could see through VEIGAR's disguise. He snatched him up, had all the other mages killed, brought to sword, is how they say, which I assume means murdered.
Yeah, he unalived all of them.
He unalived them, as they say on TikTok, as the youths say now. God, okay. VEIGAR spent the next however many years, we're not really sure. Could have been decades, could have been centuries, could have been 8 hours, we're not sure. But he was forced to do magic, all kinds of evil magic on Mordekaiser's orders. Yordles aren't really meant to be isolated like he was, and he was prevented from connecting to Bandle City, so he couldn't escape that way either. He eventually lost like all of his memories, became the twistedly evil Yordle we all know and love today. When Mordekaiser was brought down, VEIGAR escaped and vowed to live his life as a terrifyingly evil wizard, and he's not very good at it. That's basically the bio. It's very long, surprisingly, and I was able to summarize it kind of quick.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that long, but the summary is even short. Obviously.
For a Yordle, I guess.
Yeah, for a
that's true,
Yordle,
yeah.
it's
A Yordle,
exceptionally long.
I was
That's true, yeah.
surprised.
Might as well have been written by, Graham
Graham
Graham.
McNeil.
Graham crack.
Graham.
Yeah.
Cinnamon graham crackers.
Old Graham. Grammy boy.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I really like what kind of VEIGAR is going on, actually. Like a Yordle that got twisted by Mordekaiser because he was forced to like torture. That's like it's just how we learned to communicate, was evilly. And I like that, as we see in the short story, he's just kind of existing, and he's not part of some grand plan or scheme. He's just like an idea for a character that works, I think.
For sure. I mean, I think it's like, it almost makes more sense for him not to be connected to anything big because he has so much like illusions of grandeur about himself
Yeah.
that him being kind of stuck alone doing his own nothing, right, and kind of incidentally helping people. It's like I was really surprised how because I remember when we did Mordekaiser and stuff, this came up a bit, and I was really worried that like, oh man, Vigar is gonna Jesus Christ, Veigar is gonna be they're gonna make him like too grim, too serious. Like that seems kind of tragic when you say it like that. But especially in the short story, he's still a really funny character, and I think the whole conceit of his character is a lot of fun. You know?
Yeah. And I'm surprised how much of that survived the original lore. Like, they changed very little about the original lore, other than the fact that, like, he used to just be a prisoner of Noxus as opposed to specifically Mordekaiser. Other than that, like, you know, he got imprisoned, he was turned, you know, he went insane in prison because Yordles hate being alone, and then he turned evil. Like, it was kind of beat for beat the same.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we see characters who are the opposite, right? Where, like, you look at the old lore and it's wildly different, or it's changed like 2 or 3 different iterations because they don't know what the fuck to do with them. But with Veigar, it's like, this is gold. We're looking
at you, Rise.
Sure, yeah.
Ink Mage.
There's a lot, yeah. Right? But with Veigar, it's like, this is a really good idea. Let's just do this. Just tighten it up a little. Give him a story. Boom.
Yeah. I like it. I have a few notes about the bio.
Sure.
There's a quote here. After the Great Darken War left the world in ruin many centuries ago, the only light that seemed to shine on Valoran came from the skies above, which I thought was kind of funny because, like, as opposed to where, like, the underground light that they were used to.
No. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You know, the indoor sun we all have. Oh man, that's funny.
It's true.
I thought it was interesting that Mord can identify Yordles. I don't know what about his magic would let him do that, but that's neat.
Sure.
Yeah. I would love, like, a story, a little bit about some of the days together, one from Veigar's point of view and one from Mordekaiser's point of view. Because I would love to see what Mordekaiser was using Veigar for and what I guess Yordles just have a lot of magic, and that's, I assume, what he needed Veigar for.
Like, to power his big magic battery.
Sure, right. Like a man.
That's mostly what he was doing.
But no, that would be great. Veigar like a little like almost like, I guess, once he's been like Stockholm syndromed or whatever, where he's like, I don't know, like a little puppy or something that kind of follows him around or something like that. Or he's like, ew, this fucking Yordle, get him off me. Just trying to shake him off the cloak.
And then also, please light this room.
Because we only have the light from
the skies above, and we're underground. So I don't know what we're gonna do. I also I just in general want to see Veigar and Mordekaiser interact in some way, because I think it would be really funny.
Oh yeah.
God. Guess we gotta wait for that Legends of Runeterra release too.
Or like Mordekaiser to come back.
And Mord just got a release in Runeterra.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but they didn't. I don't think they have any interactions. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. Yeah.
Now, it is interesting that we mentioned he's not part of anything big, because there are some fan theories.
Ooh,
I'll get into them a little bit in the fun facts, but maybe reaches into the conspiracy realm. We'll find out.
That's fun though.
Okay, yeah, I'm very curious.
I also like the idea of Veigar accidentally being the one to take out Mordekaiser in the end.
Yeah.
LeBlanc's trying so many things, and Veigar's the one who just, like, he's trying to help Mordekaiser, and he banishes him forever. It's like,
right.
Oh, shit.
That would be fucking great. I did have the exact thought. Fucking Rel and all the others are all sitting there. They're at their lowest point, and Mordekaiser's just, like, lording over them. And Veigar trips over the power cord or whatever that, like, plugs Mordekaiser in.
Yeah. Plugs it in. I like the idea that LeBlanc couldn't unplug Mordekaiser. That's all it would have taken. She had all these failing schools of, like, abandoned orphans. But no, just had to pull the plug.
Yeah.
I also like the idea that maybe like you mentioned, like maybe he was in there for 8 hours. I really like the idea that he was just in there.
It wasn't long at all.
He was not long at all.
It was like a week.
Right. Veigar's like the guy who gets stuck on a lifeboat and like 20 seconds into it is like, all right, who are we going to eat first?
Maybe being around Mordekaiser is that fucking taxing.
Maybe.
You spend a minute with the guy.
Right? That sounds more like hanging out with Jin and Hui.
Yeah, sure.
Like, oh
That's
God,
what
it's been an eternity.
what happened to Veigar hanging out with Mordekaiser is what would happen to us hanging out with Wei.
We just lose our collective minds.
I also like that the way they described his voice after being with Mordekaiser for so long. They were like, even his voice had become a sneer of malice. Like, had it though? Is that what his voice is?
I guess compared to other Yordles.
Yeah, sure, right?
That's another thing I'd like to see is him interacting with other Yordles.
He has some interactions with like Poppy and Runeterra, and I thought that was a really fun
Yeah.
idea because he's a
And Teemo.
Yeah, Teemo. Yeah, because he's like kind of a hero in certain contexts, right? Who fancies himself a villain, and she's a hero who doesn't really know she is. So I think those two chumming it up or fighting
That
or
is
whatever
fun.
could be fun. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, I really like them having like this arch rivalry, but they're both not entirely sure on their roles here.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
end up having to work together on accident all the time.
I don't think they would like try to stop Veigar or change him. I feel like they'd be more annoyed, I guess, by Veigar.
Maybe Poppy
Tristana
like
would be annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Poppy might be like, oh, he's doing all this good stuff. You're the hero I've heard about. The hero of
Right.
whatever
Oh,
that town
here's
is.
Here's a hammer.
Do you want this hammer? Oh, too heavy? Ugh. Should I get a
Shit.
smaller one?
Oh god, that'd be so good. It writes itself, doesn't it? Right? Like,
It does.
oh man. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of notes for like the bio specifically. It's just like I said, fun idea for a character. I do like updating it to have him be like specifically connected to a champion like Mordekaiser. So if they ever want to pull
Yeah.
that out, it's there. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Do we want to step into the short story, which is ironically
True
kind
and
of long,
ghastly tale of the Boleeman Tower,
right?
or the Bolaham, I guess, depending on how snooty you want to say it.
Yeah, I read it as Bolham. I don't know. Whatever. It's by Amanda
That's
Jeffrey.
because you're not from Massachusetts. I looked
That's
at that and I
true.
saw Bolum.
Bolham. I like Bolham. That's a good name for him.
If that's where a Massachusetts town, it would 100% be Bolum.
Would it have like 6 more letters in there somehow? Like,
Yeah, there'd be several more vowels scattered in there somewhere.
just strew them about. But
This is by Amanda Jeffrey, by the way.
This was great.
yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I had a line I liked, but let me
There's-
find it again. Go
There's
ahead,
a ton
Mark.
of them. Yeah, sure. No, so
Yeah.
it opens with like, so the villagers are storming the castle, Veigar's castle, and Veigar is like, he's like, yes, fucking finally, awesome, they're here. He's like waiting behind the door, like in anticipation. And as they kind of storm in, he bursts out, and he's like, the whole thing takes place around this staircase, and he's constantly moving up and down the staircase as a way of showcasing his like self-confidence. Right? But he's there, and he's like, yes, I am the evil wizard, and he kind of traps them all in his baby cage, right? And then he's like, I've been the one who's been, and he's about to do his big villain monologue, and they're like, yeah, you're the one who put weevils in my potatoes, and and you cursed Bessie before the harvest, and he's like, wait, what?
I like how you could not say potatoes without becoming Irish. You're the one who put the weevils in my potatoes.
That's incidental, right? One of them could. He's going to put me. He put a curse on me. It's like that shit like that, right? Yes, my lord. But and so he kind of realized, like, there's all this weird shit, like not weird shit, but just like general bullshit that comes with farm life that they're accusing him of. He's like, I haven't done any of that. Hold on, what? And they got this leader, right, who's kind of their leading them all, and he's sort of saying, yeah, I've done evil things. The evil things I've done is he does say he's burned their fields, which never comes up again, so I don't know if he actually did that. But he's like, and I've slain your warlords in such a manner that they'll never return, and I've defeated taken hold of the tower of the dark sorcerer, blah blah blah. And all the villagers are kind of take a pause, and then they all kind of get in a huddle, and they kind of like confer amongst themselves. And when one pops up, it's like, do you mean the warlord blah blah blah, like blah 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 the evil or whatever? It's like, oh yeah, she didn't show the proper deference, so I kicked her ass and kicked her out of town. And then they all kind of get back in their huddle, and then the leader's like, all right, well, keep on trucking, you're super evil, we're super scared, we'll let everyone know. Bill's got a cousin who says there's a dark sorcerer down his way in case you want to like take over that. and Veigar has like these moments of, he kind of waffles a lot between feeling like really and really like doing his evil thing. He's shooting off like W's or whatever just to be impressive, and eventually all the kind of townspeople sort of start filing out, and he's like, but wait, and the leader kind of goes to grab her sword. He's like, so when can I talk to Bill's cousin about that dark sorcerer, by the way? And that's kind of the end of it, I'll say.
It's really, really good. We got it from Veigar's point of view, which was fantastic.
Yes.
And the writer here, Amanda Jeffrey, did a great job capturing that.
Yeah, this had a lot of like Boys and Bombolini energy.
It did.
In a lot of the comedy. It was very good. Veigar itself, he seems like someone that anyone who gets assigned to write for him is probably going to have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, he's such a strong voice, and like it's got to be so fun coming up with ideas. I'm like, how can this little yordle be trying to make himself bigger than he is, and him like just waiting, just like making himself really big, and they're not looking at him, and he's like just like he has to release his pose because he can't keep it up.
He's got this big gauntlet that's really heavy.
It's really heavy. He can't do it.
Yeah, I think at one point they're all conferring, and they turn back, and he's sitting there like kind of coolly like looking at his gauntlet like, oh yeah, what's up, don't worry about it. I don't know.
I also at one point the leader, this was one of the points where Veigar was starting to feel his power taken away. They were getting real uppity on him, and it was like, she seemed more than twice his height by this point and radiated confidence. He hated her. It's like, that was a big mood. We've all known that person.
Yeah, yeah.
God, they're so good looking and confident. Fuck that. And this is where they he officially pronounces his own name for them.
Oh yeah, they call him like Gray.
They call him Gray Jar.
Gray Jar.
So they're letting you know that. I like that. That's what she heard. Excuse me, Gray Jar. And he's like, it's Veigar. She's like, oh, sorry, Veigar.
It's like everyone messing up, the clown's name in One Piece all the time.
Sure. I only watched that once. I don't really remember.
It's Binky the clown. Oh. It's Buggy. All right, Bunky.
See, I forgot his name, too. I wouldn't have known there.
Yeah. I think this was another... I like to, like... We like it when champions use their abilities in stories, and lots of times it's just an action piece. But in this, he's like... like I said, he uses his baby cage just to keep the villagers. He doesn't stun them or anything. It's just to keep them all there so he can monologue. Or like when he's waiting for them and they show up, he bursts down the door with like his cue, I assume, or whatever. Or he's popping off his dark matters or whatever just to be like, he's doing his mwahaha type shit. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, A+. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I recommend reading this one if you're going to read a...
Yeah, very funny. And like I said, I think the conceit of having the whole thing take place, like I said, around this kind of staircase that he's kind of stepping up and down, right? It's like a really, I don't know, I think it's just a clever, setting to have this whole scene take place in, because it, like you mentioned, John, his like stature is constantly not literally changing, but depending on how he's feeling, he's either like lording over them or he's like shrunk down beneath them, and it's very funny. I don't know that idea.
Yeah, and that's
canon Veigar, really.
Veigar.
Yeah.
He does show up in that one cinematic Beyond the Bandlewood for like 2 seconds. Ava is sent to collect materials for the big float for the big celebration, and she goes to Veigar And Veigar holds out his hand and puts magic in it, and she runs away. So that's Veigar.
Do you have any Runeterra stuff?
He does.
He is in Runeterra. Yeah, I mean, this was way before the Song of Nunu stuff, so it's like, who knows what's going on here in terms of canon stuff. I think stuff that's questionable is that he's got a whole cadre of evil Yordles who help him do his evil schemes. Like, he's got his own tailor, like his robe maker, etc. They are funny, don't get me wrong. One interesting thing, I guess, is that when he levels up, because they do that in Runeterra, he actually gets into a big old Veigar mech that he drives around, which I kind of like. He's like Mojo Jojo almost. That's the way I kind of.
Oh, he's very Mojo Jojo. Actually, I didn't even
in some
think
ways,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of interactions with Galio, which is obviously funny because Galio is so big, so Veigar fucking hates him too. And the idea of Veigar in his big mech suit fighting Galio in like a big kaiju battle was kind of a fun idea in my mind. I don't know. There was
like that. There was like that begrudging respect with Galio too, because Galio was like, "Oh, hello, little one." He's like, "What did you?" Oh no, yeah, okay,
I guess
you can say
everyone's
that.
a little one to you. Yeah.
And then when she's leveled up, Galio will be like, "Oh, this will be a big fight," and he's like, "What do you mean, little?" Oh, you didn't actually say it. Sorry.
I wonder if, like, to Galio, there isn't really even a difference between Veigar and like humans.
He's got a lot of magic in him.
Yeah, it's true. This is like, I kind of like the idea of Galio like being like, he's just genial and really likes Veigar. Like you said, he's a little magic battery that he can kind of carry around and keep alive. And Veigar like hates him, but can't help but kind of like Galio in some ways, you know? Like, I don't know.
And Galio would probably call people bigger than Veigar little too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, someone would be towering over a Veigar, and Galio would be like, "Hello, little man," and Veigar's like, "Hell yeah, call him a little man."
And if Galio lets Veigar like ride on his shoulder,
Then he's real
he
tall.
feels so big.
I love it. I really do love that, actually, as we're talking about it.
Big thing, little thing.
Yeah.
Little thing.
But like to the extreme.
Yeah.
With just an X, no E at the start either. But yeah, I don't know. There wasn't much else from Runeterra, unless there was something that you had, John.
There is one thing that ties into the conspiracy theory, but we'll get back to it. It's
Okay.
tied to the Mirror Mage.
I'm trying to remember his interactions with the Mirror Mage.
So I was trying to scoot you.
I don't remember. I'm curious now. We'll have to see.
What's a mirror mage?
It's a Runeterra card.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's a Yordle, technically.
Yeah, there's a lot more Yordles in Runeterra than there are in like out and about, I guess I should say. There's a lot more evil ones,
Yo,
for example.
Yordle game has a date.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah,
Yordles.
yeah.
Was it September?
September.
I am not. February 21st.
Excited.
Wow,
Which
I didn't-
unfortunately is like 6 days before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which means I'm just not going to be playing the Yordle game until like May, but
Unless you can finish it in a week.
that's
Yeah,
true. I'm taking
hanging out
time
in a
off
week.
work.
Yeah, he's literally taking vacation time to play Final Fantasy VII.
I like it.
We've all got that game, folks. Don't lie to yourself.
We have a toddler. We're not going anywhere. We're not going on
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so old Veigar. Like I said, the bio is remarkably similar. I'll just kind of go over the part that talks about the League. Now he seeks to end all conflict on Valoran by bringing all of the city-states to their knees, regardless of their affiliation. The League of Legends is the perfect tool to help him meet his ends, for now. Yeah, so, you know, he wants to end all war, like the villain he is.
It's a real shame he didn't get a judgment. I think even back then they would have written a good one for him.
Yeah, he was a little too old for it. Now, it shows up in a handful of Journal of Justice articles. You're probably familiar with several of them if you listen to our Teemo at Tristana episode, but he shows up in a few others too. So issue 8, they're talking about the harrowing, and the so the quote. Oh, hello, Scarl. He's on my lap now. The quote they gave was talking about the harrowing. Unfortunately, for all the hullabaloo, there haven't been any outbreaks of malevolent beings, no visits of nefarious apparitions, not so much as one documented creepy nor one captured crawly. The world seems hopelessly saturated with people, and nothing has been sufficient to threaten that state. So, unburdened by worry, you may happily don your home-sewn VEIGAR cowl or your jury-rigged Heimer hairdo, and take comfort in the fact that if this day ever bore the portent of the Armageddon, that time has long since passed. This was, I feel like, one of several harrowing, like, I think from Noxus to, like, Noxus harrowing deniers.
Really
I
weird.
forgot that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah. And then issue 17, we've got the Mailbag of Justice. I've been wondering for a while now, why was VEIGAR imprisoned in Noxus? What did he do to be sent there? By Cool Kirby 4. According to reports from Noxian authorities, VEIGAR was amongst a handful of Yordles arrested for trading illegal goods in Noxus.
He was dealing weed.
The Yordles claim to be from a Bandle City trading organization, and they were brokering a deal with the Noxians when they were caught. Noxus isn't renowned for its tolerance of Yordles, though, so you might want to take these reports with a grain of salt. Yeah. Falsely in prison. He was selling oregano.
This is
Magical oregano.
Might have just been as bad. Maybe Noxians hate flavorful foods.
That's true. Noxus is like strictly inhabited by my mom.
Damn.
She's very Irish, not big on spices.
No.
Now we've got issue 21. And this is another Mailbag of Justice. This is the one that they talked about. I've often wondered how unaffiliated champions fight within the league. It's obvious that Katarina's going to fight for Noxus, and Garen will fight for Demacia, but how do champions such as VEIGAR, whose goal is specifically to bring all the city-states to their knees regardless of affiliation, fight for the political gain of a nation? Are champions such as Fiddlestick, Shaco, and Mordekaiser sold to the highest bidder, or does each nation draft them before a round commences, and said champion is expected to oblige? And if this is the case, is it possible for a champion like Scion to be selected to fight for Demacia?
I'm so glad they got rid of this.
I know,
man.
right?
Who's that by?
So
Who's
they
that from, by the way? Can I ask?
Oh, I didn't
Okay.
write it.
Okay, don't worry about it.
I was thinking about it. It wasn't as fun a name as Cool Kirby 4,
Okay,
though,
you're
so
right,
I
you're
didn't
right.
bother.
Don't worry about it.
It was more fun in that the person responding did respond to them by name. That was pretty fun.
Okay.
Because it was a dumb name, don't get me wrong. All of them, I feel like, that wrote in had dumb names. Sorry, they don't have names as cool as mine.
Cool Kirby's a great name.
That's
It's
true. It does have
cool, yeah.
in the name. And you can't get cooler than that.
Literally.
So in case you're curious, the answer to this, the League holds regular matches which are not meant to resolve any political disputes. These are both to train summoners as well as to provide the entire world with the spectacle of battle that has replaced open conflict. Champions are given the option to declare allegiances when they join the League, and no champion may ever be summoned in a political match against his or her will. This said, when political matches do occur, unaffiliated champions are sometimes approached by city-states for representation, and they're generally welcome to accept. Also, the League seeks out those with the power to become champions to bolster the strength of its competitors, so some unaffiliated champions are present despite having no political intentions whatsoever. Which is fancy talk for we like to pull people from other dimensions against their will to fight for us.
Right. Or someone can just barge in, and you know what? They'll probably get in.
Or a storm just swoops them up.
You're not going to try and kill us, right? No, I am. All right, get in here,
Okay.
you little scamp.
It's that honesty.
I can't stay mad at you.
Oh, fuck.
Now, the three VEIGAR issues, starting issue 19 with the Horseshoe Heist. VEIGAR, who is never explicitly called out here, but is clearly VEIGAR, stole one horseshoe from all of the horses in Bandle City. Everyone was very confused. Confused more than anything, but a lot of them found that it was a great opportunity to replace overdue horseshoes. And then there was even a benefit banquet held to pay back the farmers who had lost horseshoes. And it was attended by Timo and Tristana, and they ended up raising more money than they needed. So the mayor just decided to make it an annual event. And in the end, everyone was really thankful for this mysterious horseshoe heister. And then issue 23, Balloon Burglary. At a semi-annual bake sale for the Tenderfeets, the children had just finished setting up the decorations when all the balloons were sucked into a black hole. Timo and Tristana were there in support of the org and investigated. Timo said, "There's something else going on. If the burglar really wanted to ruin the bake sale, they would have stolen the cupcakes. Why the balloons? There's one thing I learned when I was a tenderfoot myself. It was to never underestimate an enemy, even one who would steal balloons." It's my Timo impression.
It's very serious.
It's how Timo sounds.
This is Detective Timo.
He's got a different voice when he puts on that detective hat and puts in that corncob pipe.
Do you see the way they open the door? There's scratches everywhere. That means he's an avid drinker. That's all I remember about Sherlock. It's a dumbass fucking theory.
Anywho, the kids were bummed. They lost their balloons. So people actually ended up buying way more than they would have otherwise, and they had to end the bake sale early because they were fully sold out. One supervisor said, "We've been more successful than we ever were in past bake sales. We probably raised enough to afford new uniforms and a field trip into the Sablestone Mountains. Perhaps we owe our thanks to this balloon burglar after all." And then finally, the big reveal. Turns out it was VEIGAR this whole time, guys. You're not going to believe this.
What?
Yeah, he stole all the stuff. He attached the horseshoes to the balloons and then enchanted them in an attempt to steal the beloved Yordle City mothership, which, as we mentioned, is an actual spaceship. How the actual Yordles got to actual Valoran back in the day. Anyway, looks like he's going to get away with it too, but a flock of sharp-winged geese flies by and pops all but one of the balloons, which VEIGAR uses to make his escape. But Timo ends up popping it, and VEIGAR falls to the ground far, far away in true Team Rocket fashion. At the end of the day, the only impact is that the mothership shifted slightly to the left. It's also worth mentioning this article, it was a very funny article. This the article right before this one starts like this. Before the outbreak of war in Kalamanda, a Demacian soldier who had publicly confessed to conspiracy against Noxus by order of Jarvan IV himself was mysteriously assassinated. He was found dead in his cell shortly after his confession, a victim of Nizir poisoning, and investigators were unable to find any evidence left behind by the culprit. And also, there's this balloon heist.
VEIGAR stole all the horseshoes. Ooh. The bake sale. Yeah, I know.
What will he do next?
I do
It's kind of like newscasters, though, who have to like swap modes really quickly.
Right?
Yeah.
Reporting stories.
For sure. I do love the visual of VEIGAR like getting popped out of the air and then like falling and splat. Just like this like completely flat like wide
Right.
comedy shot. It's like,
It's
is he
like
alive?
Wile E. Coyote,
Right.
hole in the ground.
Timo just kind of like idly just like shoots him down. I was like, huh. I wonder if he survived that. I don't know.
Another murder on my hands.
Right?
You'd be surprised how quickly fur ignites.
Oh, man.
So a few of his quotes that I have here. I mean, his actual skin or his base quote. "I will swallow your soul, and even now your loved ones suffer."
Your loved ones suffer.
Evil Dead quotes.
Really? Felt like the original Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta rewatch that because I can't
The soul one I
recall
remember.
those.
I don't remember the other one.
Any excuse to watch Evil Dead.
Yeah,
on
right.
there.
And then final boss VEIGAR has a ton of
yeah.
quotes. Here are just a few of my favorite references, but there's so many of them. He has Chrono Trigger references in here. Always
Oh.
a sucker for those.
It's John's favorite game, by the way.
It is by a large margin. Unimaginable is the power of VEIGAR, which is a Magus quote talking about Lavos. and The Black Wind Howls, which is a Janice quote, which, spoiler alert, is also Magus. He's got some Star Fox quotes. Cocky little freaks. Which is a quote from the Sector Y boss. And then I can't let you do that, which is a Star Wolf quote.
And also kind of a 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That's true. I can't let you do that, Star Fox.
David.
We got some Legend of Zelda quotes in here. He's got a
Hey, listen!
from Ocarina, and he has a
You are error!
from Zelda 2.
Oh,
okay. Jeez, yeah.
It was a localization error, so you talk to
Oh,
one
yeah,
NPC
I am
and it's
error,
like, you
yeah.
are error. Oh, yeah, I am error.
Not a successful sequel, from what I understand.
It's got some Portal quotes.
Oh, the cake is gone.
Oh, that's great.
Your entire life has been a mathematical error.
And then we got a
Would you kindly?
Yeah, he does say would you
from
kind
Very
Bioshock.
which is my favorite game.
But again, there's like, he quotes like 10 or 15 other games. He's
I'm
got
sure
so
they
many
had to
quotes.
put
It's
so
great.
many references in there, yeah.
You're all ready for some AUs?
Yeah, definitely.
So fucking many. Strap in, y'all.
So good for skins, right? Like, he's just such a good champ for skins.
And
Yeah.
for like, I feel like maybe for the first time, he has a shit ton of skins that all have lore.
Oh, really?
None of
Okay.
them are legacy with no lore or anything.
Even
I
Like
kind of
those
assumed there'd be
ones,
some of
huh?
those,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, me too. But no, they shoehorned him in elsewhere. So first we got Ye Old Medieval. Hark, ye knights and knaves, for these lands are under the royal protection of the king and queen. Make way, make way, says White Mage Veigar. A master of healing magic residing within an ancient cathedral, Veigar self-identifies as a dastardly arch-villain rather than the pious cleric he clearly is. His magic has cured ailments and dispelled curses from across the land, much to his chagrin.
It's just a recoloring Veigar.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
recolor for sure. Fun fact about this one, this is among one of the only 3 skins in the game priced at 390 RP, making it the cheapest ones available, excluding sales and giveaways.
And I can see why.
I can see why.
Because it's
Veigar, but he's
so
white and
good.
red.
It's better than what it used to be, at least.
Yeah.
When we say recolors, the old ones were very much just
Literally
the laziest of recolors.
Yeah.
I mean, they were chromas, you know.
And Veigar's
it's-
got 2 of them, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
3 of them, actually, I think.
I don't remember.
So next up, we got Rift Quest. Danger lurks in the land of Runeterra. Powerful monsters, dastardly sorcerers, and mythical creatures roam unchecked. Gather your friends and create your own adventure for 3 to 5 players, vanquishing evil with each roll of the die. Do you have what it takes to save the world and become a legend of Rift Quest? This is Veigar Greybeard.
This is Gandalf Veigar.
Gandalf the Grey. A suspiciously helpful wizard the party meets early in their adventure. Veigar Greybeard holds a dastardly secret. He's the true villain of Rift Quest. Of course, this is obvious to anyone who played the starter campaign, but you still shouldn't spoil it for newcomers.
Well, you just did.
Fuck.
Great.
My bad, y'all.
I think
It
it's,
was Veigar.
I think it's like a suspiciously, Jesus Christ, suspiciously like near copyright infringement level of whatever.
You know, Veigar Greybeard, who turns into White Mage Veigar.
Veigar the Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Veigar the White Mage. Next up, we got Fables. Every culture has their own folklore surrounding legends and monsters. Are these myths a figment of our imagination? Stories passed down through generations to explain the unexplainable? Or are they based in a truth hidden from the rest of the world? This is Leprechaun Veigar. Contrary to popular belief, Veigar won't grant 3 wishes, isn't a fairy, and doesn't hide gold coins at the end of a rainbow. He will, however, kill you, which is none of the things you want out of a magic leprechaun.
You know what I love about this one is that, like, okay, so Veigar is like Vivi, right, from like Final Fantasy VI, right, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the whole idea of that is that the hat's so big that you just can't see what's going on underneath. But in this one, it's just like, no, his head's just this dark orb.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah, it's weird. Also,
His hat's like literally not on his head. Like it's floating above his head.
also, just so people don't get in the comments, I don't think it was named Vivi until 9.
Okay, I don't fucking remember. I've not played any of.
I don't know jack all about Final
It's
Fantasy.
like, I mean, like Dark Mage, what, like, you know,
Don't get in the
Black
comments,
Mage or
folks,
whatever,
please. Yeah, classic Black Mage.
Yeah.
Also, can't think about Leprechaun Veigar without thinking about that super cancelable Riot St. Patrick's Day party
What? Go on.
where they hired people to dress up as Leprechaun Veigar, specifically little people.
Oh no.
I don't remember. I may not have been there at the time. Was this? Or
It was in the building where you started. I don't know at what
Okay.
point it was, but yeah, it was something.
I don't remember
It was
this.
something. It's one of those memories you look back on and you're like, yeah, I get how they got sued. And they didn't even, I mean, not over that even, but yeah, I could see it. It was there.
Wild.
The seeds were there early.
Fucking wild. Yeah, I really don't remember that. I think that's something that would stick in my brain. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I.
That's true. It does.
That's one of John's core memories.
Right.
Unfortunately. Next up, we got Silver Age. The Rift's greatest superheroes and most dastardly villains, available at a comic store near you. And this is superb villain Veigar. The villainous Veigar is at it again. Reigning from the top floor of the Veigar Company skyscraper, the criminal mastermind hatches the vilest plans New Valoran has ever seen. Yet even when his schemes are foiled, he always escapes punishment, biding his time until his next chance to strike.
This one's fun.
And then we got that arcade battle bosses one. Deep within Arcadia's servers lies a sinister series of glitches known to all gamers as the battle bosses. Their corrupted code has brought them newfound freedom, but also new challengers. To complete their deletion of the arcade world, many of the bosses have agreed to put aside the differences, until it's inconvenient. This is final boss Veigar. Once merely a mini-boss, with a Napoleon complex, Veigar has ripped into the code of arcade world to summon hundreds of other bosses to his side. Together they'll stop at nothing to reach his ultimate goal, take the world for himself, and give the heroes a final game over.
Whoa.
Yeah. And this has a level up quote. At last you have come to challenge me, but this isn't even my final form. Foolish fools, prepare to face your doom. Then we got War is Heck. He's part of Omega Squad.
I don't see this one very much.
Yeah.
You don't.
He has such good stuff.
He's got
Right,
too many
yeah.
good
It's
ones.
hard, yeah.
When the war came, Omega Squad was sent to end it. Now only one of them remains, a Yordle with no battles left to fight but his own. This is Omega Squad Veigar. A heavy artillery specialist with a serious chip on his shoulder, Veigar has a troubling habit of calling down huge amounts of explosives ordnance, even for the most mundane problems. He thinks it's a fun quirk. Yeah, fun fact about this one, this is the only skin where his ears and part of his face can be seen, because he's not wearing any type of hat.
Yeah, the
Just a
ears are
mask.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird to see him with ears. Now that you mention
I
it,
Yeah.
know. It's like we know that they got to be under there, but
who knows? Maybe Mordekaiser took him. That's
Oh no.
okay. Never mind. He gave him. He still has his ears.
thank you. His ears are still there, right, guys?
Yeah, they're still there.
He can certainly hear. We know that.
Man, do you remember when they updated his splash art so that you could see the fur on his face? It stopped becoming like a black void and you could see a bit of fur.
Oh God!
No,
I feel like I
don't.
remember that happening, but I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah,
I can't picture it anyway.
back in the day. It's very vague. Like, you couldn't make out facial features or anything. You
Yeah.
could just make out the
see
fact
if
that,
I
like,
can-
oh, he's furry under there. Okay. Because I think up until that point, hadn't been confirmed that all Yordles were hairy.
Okay.
Because Heimerdinger was still out here looking weird as fuck, so...
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Weird. I wish I need to go find it because I can't picture it.
Yeah.
My initial Google search didn't put anything, but I was really worried to put Veigar furry in.
I put in Veigar
Go
fur.
ahead,
and
do it.
Yeah.
I put Veigar furry face.
Okay.
No offense to the Veigar furries out there. Like, fucking live your best life, y'all. But it's not my thing.
Next up, we got Eclipse. He's part of Elderwood. Which I think his skin in this one is basically a Majora's Mask reference, but
Yeah, it looks like the mask.
Yeah.
yeah. In the beginning, the old gods reigned. So great was humankind's love for them that one dared to make them a part of her flesh forever. She devoured the sun itself, and descending from that empty heaven, inspired her knights to decimate all those that remained. Centuries later, they stand the only hope against the rising coven's darkness. This is Elderwood Veigar. A small number of the Elderwood's children remain largely unaffected by the growing influence of the Coven, to the relief of scholars and storytellers alike. Unfortunately, these particular children are some of the most whimsical and dangerous, including among their numbers the insane goblin Veigar and his cursed hallucinogenic toadstools.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Damn, man. Insane Goblin is a really powerful phrase. I have to
Really
use
is.
that
Right?
more.
That's some shit you'd hear at a Comedy Central roast for sure.
I guess.
I don't know. I was thinking more
What
like
would
the
they be
top.
talking about? Who are they roasting?
You can call anyone an insane goblin and it works.
That's a Shatner roast, you think?
That's the joy of the insult.
Sure.
I think I remember actually when I moved away from Putnam and moved to Los Angeles, my friends did a roast for me on
Oh,
me,
right. Mhm.
and I did. The roaster gets to roast everyone back too, and I distinctly remember calling Kevin a hideous hairy goblin.
Wow,
It
that's
works
mean.
for anyone.
Interesting.
Sorry, Kevin.
Particularly short guys.
I know sometimes you listen to these shorts, Kevin. If this ends up in a short, I'm sorry.
At this point, it definitely will.
You're not a hideous hairy goblin. You're beautiful.
He's a father now.
Stick to your guns.
He's a father.
He's a goblin.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, you fucking goblin. You goblin kid. That was so mean.
Holy shit.
Next up, we got
I'm
definitely
cutting
not.
this. We're not.
Is that a robot in glasses and a trench coat? Of course not. Do your eyes perceive a beast man in a onesie? Better get those eyes checked, because they're wrong. Isn't Draven too modest to wear his own head? How foolish you must feel to even ask! And that laser squid? Definitely human. Definitely. This one is Fury Horn Cosplay Veigar. 50% Fury, 50% Horn, 100% evil.
I'm surprised that wasn't just his bio, like his canon bio.
Oh, fuck.
Now we got Star Voyagers, Astronauts.
God, I don't see this one much. He
I
has
know,
so many
he
good
has so
skins.
many skins. Astronauts, hijinks, and adorable alien meeps. Defying gravity is just another day for these adventurous space protectors as they defend planet M33P and traverse the grand cosmos that awaits them. It says Astronaut Veigar. A scientist conducting research on alien energy sources, Veigar ventured too far into empty space. But the Veigar that came back was different from the one that was set adrift. No one is sure why, but something about him is more evil
Oh,
and purple.
oh, he's purple.
Fun fact about this, he is responsible for creating the corrupted meeps in this AU. You can see him turning regular meeps into corrupted meeps when recalling in game.
Oh, really? Damn.
You know how Riot, like the new map is very void, like everything's purple, and Riot's like, there's no void event. There's not going to be a void event.
It's a VEIGAR.
It's just. I was just gonna say, maybe this whole time, it's actually VEIGAR. He's
That'd
getting
be
like a sick
fucking
lore
great.
drop.
I would fucking love that.
I would
honestly.
forgive them.
Yeah.
I would forgive them for the not void event.
The VEIGAR event. That's where it's at. VEIGAR event 2024. They never said there
Right.
wouldn't be a VEIGAR event, so let's
That's
just.
true.
That's true. Let's see. Next up, we got monster tamers. Who are we? We're monster tamers. We protect the world when it's in danger. When others would flee, we follow the roar. We tame the monsters and use the core. And with our new friends by our side, we'll hop and run and swim and glide. We'll go anywhere, no matter how far, because we're monster tamers. That's who we are.
I don't think we've heard this one yet.
This is
There's very few skins in this AU.
I know Lulu has one.
Yeah. This is Monster Tamer VEIGAR. VEIGAR has big plans. Big. First, he'll amass an army of monsters, preferably from the darkest, scariest corners of the land. Then he'll use the core to create a bond with said monsters and amplify their power. Then he'll take over the world! He might have missed a step. Next up, we got bees. Buzz. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
He's gonna do this every time.
Buzz. Buzz. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Buzz.
Oh, that last one really hit, huh?
Yeah. King VEIGAR. VEIGAR's waited a whole 10 days. That's a long time in bee years. For his moment to strike. It's finally here, and the queen bee's crown is in his sights. Long live the beesistence.
I think this is my favorite AU. I know Hydrian's cool and all, but
But it's no bees.
His staff is so good. The queen bee is on it, and she's so mad. Just like the biggest pout and glare ever. It's amazing.
I love it. Now we got winter sports. When the Winter Sports Festival in question relaxed its rules, many assumed the event would become more exciting, but few realized just how dangerous it would become. Dangerously exciting, that is. It says curling VEIGAR. Speaking of dangerous.
I'm sure there are a lot of curling related injuries out there.
I got sweeper's elbow.
Yeah. I got the Croucher Scout.
I just right now there's somebody suffering. There's somebody in pain. Right?
There's someone with sweeper's elbow right now, just
Right.
like crying and
Am I a joke to you?
I came here for comfort and laughs. You're making fun of me.
Oh. This is curling VEIGAR. Curling is a sport where players slide stones across the ice with a stick. VEIGAR is an evil yordle obsessed with annihilating the great cities of Valoran. It just makes sense.
I like that they just ran with it. What is on top of his hat? What is happening?
Let's see. Let me see what we
don't
got
even
here.
worry about it. I gotta check it out. It's just it's like
Maybe that's
It's
supposed
just
to be like
insane.
one of those like banners, like
if you
the
look
country
at the
banners.
end,
Maybe
it looks like a blue-green bean, which I really like.
it does. Yes. Maybe there's blue peas in there.
Oh, it's like a little pea pod.
That's where VEIGAR does his blue peas.
It's a frozen pea pod.
you need to see a doctor, man. It's not supposed to be that color.
I don't understand why they did that.
There's a lot I don't understand.
Is it that long
about
in the model
what they did
in-game?
and why they did it.
It
God,
can't be.
I hope so.
Well,
I
now
hope
we gotta
so.
play this. Who
It just
has
drags
this skin?
behind him like fucking like Zoe's
like
hair.
a veil.
Right. I was gonna say, you know, they put that new tech in for like Nidalee and shit, so like that the back half, like a soul and stuff. I want that to be his hat.
Oh.
It's like
I
Echo's
just, if
ultimate.
someone
It
could
just,
explain to me what this is.
you know, he got
I
one of
hate it
those.
so much. It's disgusting.
Damn, strong feelings about curling VEIGAR.
It does feel
It
like
just looks like a big fucking floppy worm is on his
Yeah,
head, and
like-
I don't like it.
if you touched it, you would feel it like pulsate. in a way that's like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. There's a vein running through that for sure.
Throbbing.
Oh, God.
Okay, we can stop. I
And
won't look
it's
at
Pronounced Vine. It's VEIGAR joke.
I know, yeah. My God.
Thank you, folks. Next up, we got Highway Heretics, a road warrior. Out in the wasteland, the only gospel a road warrior needs is the hum of an engine, and the only prayers they hear are the curses of their enemies. This is Baron von VEIGAR. Ruler of the new Bandle Republic, VEIGAR considers himself the ultimate dark power of the wasteland, an evil so great that no man, woman, or creature would ever dare challenge his authority. Recently, he fixed up a water purifier and an electric grid for the city, too. An electric grid of evil. And finally, Snowdown Showdown.
It's a great one.
Better start building that snow fort. Bad Santa VEIGAR. Most Santas wish to bring joy and enchantment to children everywhere, but VEIGAR wants no such thing. His dark ambitions have grown beyond simply thwarting Snowdown. He schemes to throw the world into chaos, blotting out the holidays with his evil forever.
What a jerk.
It's a bad Santa.
Oh. Betsy. All right, here we go.
And yeah, we got a handful of fun facts here.
And conspiracies. We were
And
promised
conspiracy. One conspiracy.
Just all right.
VEIGAR is voiced by Bob Beal.
Amazing job, Bob.
Amazing.
Job, Bob.
And VEIGAR in Legends of Runeterra and Final Boss VEIGAR are voiced by Scott McNeil, who you wouldn't expect this, but also does the voice for Hecarim, pre-version 7.9, Maokai, Scion, and Mecha Zero Scion.
Wow.
Damn, the range.
Tell you what.
As we mentioned, VEIGAR is named after VEIGAR the Rider, who previously worked as a senior QA analyst for Riot Games, and he is very tall.
I don't imagine this is like an actual person's name, VEIGAR. I've never heard it in my life.
Until now.
There you are.
Well, I mean, I've never met.
I was curious if you had met VEIGAR.
But I just mean like another VEIGAR.
Oh, yeah, I've not met two, for sure.
They have a little convention. They all get together.
There are dozens of us.
Event Horizon used to deal 1 point of true damage to all units inside the cage. And in very rare occasions, yes, it could kill if someone was at 1 health.
Is that to like, so it draws turret aggro? Is that like the point of it?
Probably would be my guess.
I think Anivia's Wall at least used to do that. It would deal 1 point of damage, but I don't know if it still does. Hopefully they move beyond that. They can just code it. That like,
Right.
but who knows?
Like displacements do shit.
Yeah.
But it's all made out of minions still,
Right.
so who
That's
knows?
true. VEIGAR is over 1,500 years old, as he was present during Mordekaiser's Second Crusade. All right, y'all. Now, here's where the conspiracy starts.
Okay.
So, Mirror Mage, based on their quotes in Legends of Runeterra, could be LeBlanc's servant secretly manipulating VEIGAR so that he has the confidence to confront Mordekaiser in the future. All of her quotes towards VEIGAR in Legends of Runeterra are all like, "Ooh, you're so tall. Oh, you're so powerful, Lord VEIGAR."
Okay.
And she uses her mirror magic to make him look tall, as like he looks in the mirror and he's like, "Oh damn, okay." Now theoretically, if Mordekaiser were to bring VEIGAR to Mitnaraknun, which is like his little pocket dimension in the death world that he created, VEIGAR would be able to destroy the pocket realm using cosmic magic, celestial elementa and primordial spiritual magic combined. In particular, his spell Primordial Burst, thereby freeing all the souls captured there, and LeBlanc would finally be able to defeat the Iron Revenant.
Interesting.
Oh,
I like the connection with the Mirror Mage. I think that's a lot of fun. I'm a little iffy about the VEIGAR being able to actually give him the knockout punch. But it's still, I like that idea a lot. I say we roll with it. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think more it's, him not hitting Mordekaiser in general. It's like, destroying his work, because I think he gets a lot of his power from the souls he kind of imprisons there. So, like, knocking out the pocket dimension.
I do like the idea of
sap him of his power.
Veigar attempting to take over this realm, but he accidentally just
blows
frees all
it
the
up.
souls
Yeah.
inside of it.
Yes.
Thanks, Lord Veigar. You saved us.
Yes. God damn. It's like
It
like
works for
poetry. It rhymes. Yeah.
Veigar is one of 15 champions that has an ability that infinitely stacks.
It sure does.
Sure does. And Veigar possesses the most laugh emotes of any champion.
Oh, really?
Which is surprising given his lack of emotes, or his lack of quotes in general, but
Yeah.
he's got a lot of laughs.
It's like a
We've
barrel
all
of
had
monkeys,
a lot of laughs
right?
here.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Well, now that we've all had our laughs, time to get serious. Any final thoughts on Veigar?
No, I mean, honestly, like you said, he has a really strong voice, and frankly, what we got is kind of just what I want, right? A nice, fun story
Yeah.
that takes advantage. We've had some ideas for what you could do with him, but I don't feel myself being like, oh, I wish we had this or that.
We need
know?
it. Yeah. It would just be some fun little sprinkles on the ice cream.
VEIGAR event. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That would be
Make it
freaking
happen.
hilarious if that's what. Somebody tag us if it ever is.
Right, please.
As if we won't know.
Right.
Immediately.
Well, that was Veigar. Thank you so much for listening. We have a Twitter. It's at Loreheads. And a Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreheads. John streams on Saturdays. He does TFT and ARMs with viewers. He's very good at TFT. He's about to hit Diamond in duos with a buddy of his. So, you want to learn a thing or two or make him lose very badly by giving him terrible suggestions to do at
That's
TVT.
true. I will play
TFT.
whatever comp you recommend,
He'll
no
do it.
matter how bad it is.
We have YouTube. If you want to see some shorts, you might see our cat a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
can see the cat,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see the cat a little bit. His name's Scarvel. He's a sweetheart. Only jumps on John's lap. He hates me. But especially hates me because I cleaned my office recently and he used to like sleep in there all the time. Now he hates it. He hates a clean office. He's like, this is disgusting.
I can
You've
sympathize.
vacuumed all the hair off my couch.
I can't smell my dander in
I
here
can't
anymore.
smell all my dander. Where did the cobwebs go, you bitch?
He does eat shit out of cobwebs a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's still cobwebs in my office. He will walk into my office, walk up to a cobweb, and go,
You never
This
know.
is just John's like, he hasn't cleaned his office.
true facts.
Maybe he's trying to clean your office. Maybe he's like, my work is
Aw,
done
He's
here.
helping out.
Yeah.
What a good kitty.
He's a weirdo. Yeah, like most cats. We have a Discord. You want to find some people to play League with or chat about some League things or post weird memes, please join our Discord. And we have a Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons, King of Hearts, Mr. Dead, Big Man Gnomes, and John Has a Dig Bick. If you were all being held captive by Veigar's baby cage, I would free you. I'd flash
find a
in
way.
as Rise and ult you all out.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You get to turn into Rise in this one. That's pretty cool.
That's just how I do.
He could do that at will. John.
Yeah. I don't like to brag about it, but
Well, be sure to join us next week as we talk a lot about tentacles for the Eye of the Void, Vel'Koz.
For a second,
that'll be part
we're
of the
back at
conversation.
Allow
The
here.
other part of the tentacle conversation is going to be something.
Oh yeah, that'll be
different
something
entirely.
different. I've got a lot of Rex for you sick fuck.